So I guess I'm asking myself really the question, like, why am I here? What am I doing on TikTok? And the real answer that I've come up with is there is a part of me that wants to do these podcast episodes and wants to do these TikTok videos, whether it's here on TikTok or on YouTube or on Spotify and that sort of stuff. There's a couple of answers to that question. One is I want to be recognized, not like you see me go, oh, I fucking know who you are. I don't want you to know who I am, but I want to be heard. I want to have the opportunity to speak myself. Do you know what I mean? And just get my voice out because I think I've got a lot of stuff in my head that I just don't talk to a lot of other people. I don't like people, and I haven't really got friends, which is fine. That sounds like a really sad thing to say, but it's not sad. It is what it is. It's like I just don't have people around me that I consider as my friends. And then the other reason to be on here is like just talk, just get it out. And it's not even necessarily like really deep things that I want to or need to get out, but it's just it's an outlet. These words are just jumbled. They're nothing. They're not even like cogent thoughts. They're just I'm going through my head and then speaking it. And whenever I press go live or record, sorry, just taking a sip of coffee there. I'm then caught with like fucking brain fog and like fucking hell, I don't know what to say. And that's not really the case. It's just not being used to doing this. And so really it's just a place for me to be able to talk freely. And I don't know if that's the case. Like I know on Spotify, if I just put up a podcast, I can talk freely because fucking hell, who's going to be listening? There may be no one listening at all. But here on TikTok or on YouTube or wherever else, there's a potential that people are going to watch. And then they might be like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Or I don't agree with what you're saying. I think you're a fucking asshole. And where's your hairline? It's down by my arse, if you were concerned. But then the question is, can I talk freely? As in, can I say exactly what I'm thinking without getting fucking ostracized or kicked out of the community? And I don't think any of my thoughts or feelings about the world at large or about like life, society, any of the like fucking political ideologies that I might have thoughts about, I don't think any of my thoughts would get me kicked off of an app, but there would be some that would be like, oh, you're fucking red flaggy, or you're not left enough for us, or you're not right enough for us, or whatever people's fucking leanings are. And so actually, I can talk freely. I just think that I overthink it a little bit and I don't want to get cast out. But then I'm not really a part of any groups anyway. Like I'm a part of one group, like a BDSM group, which is really fucking left leaning. And I'm not left or right. I'm more centrist in a lot of my thoughts. But I can't openly speak there. I can't openly say, actually, I think this about this subject because I'm just seen as problematic and fucking red flaggy, which is fine. If I get kicked out of that group, I get kicked out. It's not really doing me any good being there anyway. It's not like I'm making any wholesome fucking friendships or anything like that. But somewhere like TikTok, it's like you can say whatever you want, you know, within guidelines, like their guidelines. And some people will like it, dislike it. Most people will never fucking see it, to be honest. And then there'll be others that might attack you, and it's, I guess you have to ask yourself, well, what's the benefit of me speaking? And really, the benefit of me speaking isn't for you guys and girls, non-binary squirrels. It's for me. It's for me to just share my thoughts. So it's not just going around in my head. Like I talk to my partner, my baby girl. I don't really talk to any other adults. So it's important that I at least have somewhere that I can fucking talk. And if you listen, you listen. And if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. And if you don't, you don't. But I think for me, the best thing that I can try and aim to do when it comes to this podcast is just be authentically me. And sometimes that's going to be boring. Sometimes it's going to be wholesome. Sometimes it's going to be grimy. Sometimes it'll be funny. I don't know. Sometimes it'll be a load of old nonsense. And I think that's okay as well. if it's authentically me, and just getting used to just speaking. Like, I can do this without the camera on, and actually I find it much smoother because I'm not worrying about how I look and I can't see my stupid fucking potato face. But when the camera's on, yeah, I have that other element of fucking hell, people are able to see my stupid face, and now like my thoughts are attached to my image, and I don't know, it just adds another element of stress to it, and anxiety, I guess. And I just have to get used to just how that feels. And even now, like, I've been talking for almost 6 minutes and said nothing. It's just weird words. I think sometimes I can compare myself to others too much. And like, I can compare myself to other TikTokers and other like YouTubers and podcasters, and I think, fucking hell, they're so much better than me. Why would anyone watch? And I think actually I'm doing myself a disservice because I'm really new to this as far as like consistently creating something and just talking and allowing myself to just speak and just from brain to mouth, just let it come out, verbal diarrhea, where other people have been doing it for such a longer time. Me comparing myself to them is like, well, of course they're going to be better than me. How can they not be? Drop your pencil on the floor and stuff. But the comparison, there's a saying, isn't there? Comparison is the thief of joy. I can't remember who it was that said that, and it doesn't really matter who said it. Yeah, I think it's a wise thing to say and to think. And I think that's right. I think if I look at other TikTokers and it's like, oh, they seem to have their shit together, or, you know, they know exactly what they're going to say before they say it, and that's really well edited and that's really well put together, and look how fucking professional that looks. But actually, it's like, I'm not that person. I just need to be comfortable with who I am and just really be myself and be authentic and just try and speak. And I think that's good advice for anyone. If you're a creative person, is you just have to stand on your own shit. And if you're early doors to it, like I am, and this is like early in getting used to doing it, you can't be too critical. And when you try and compare yourself to how other people do it and the likes and the views that other people get, of course they're going to have more than you. Do you know what I mean? So I think at this point now, I just have to consistently talk and just let it come out. And I think it's good maybe if I have some thoughts in my head of, right, I think I know what I want to talk about. Like now under the camera, I've written it, just some like key words that I want to sort of bring in. And it's about consistently doing it and not looking at the likes, because I look at the likes and I'm like, oh, fucking hell, I've got like fucking 200 views and 3 likes and 1 comment. And it's like, well, of course, no one knows who I am. I'm just a fucking floating head on an app. No one knows who I am. Why would they listen? And at that point, then my mind goes, oh, this is going to be too hard. Fucking jack it in. But I can't do that. I can't just chuck it in because it's fucking hard. I keep telling my children, just because something's hard, you shouldn't give up. If anything, you should try hard and try and succeed. And whether that's us doing karate or them doing karate, or, you know, like my son's doing spelling tests and stuff at the moment at school. He's 8. And there's some words I don't know how to fucking spell. And I'm not the worst speller in the world, but I'm not the greatest. And he's struggling because it's like he doesn't know it straight away, and he wants to know it straight away, and he wants to be good. And it's like he gets the rat about it, and he wants to like throw his work away and be like, I don't want to do it. I'm fucking rubbish at this. Where he doesn't use those words, of course not, because he's a child. And it's like, yeah, but dude, you know, you're not going to be good at this. You need to accept that you're not good at this, and you need to say to yourself, well, do I want to be better at this? And yeah, the answer is you do. Then how do you do it? Well, you have to practice. And it's like giving him that advice. I need to take my own advice, and I need to sort of say, well, I'm not going to be good at TikTok. I'm not going to be good at YouTube, and I'm not going to be good at doing a podcast. But how do I get better at doing it? And the answer really is just keep doing it. Like, yeah, this might not look super professional, but I've got lighting, I've got a microphone, I've got a camera on my phone, I've got a couple of tripods, and so yeah, it doesn't look like a really polished awesome thing that's done in a studio, but I'm doing as best as I can. So with those elements, what else can I do? And the answer is, I am articulate if I know where I'm going and I feel confident in that process. So then how do I get better? You just get better by keep doing it, I think. So giving my son that advice is helping me, because I'm asking myself the question, well, what am I doing that I could be doing better? And the answer is I just need to keep doing it. So my advice to myself is that, but my advice to you is also that it doesn't matter what it is you're trying to do, whether you're trying to create a TikTok channel or you're trying to, I don't know, get fit or start writing a book or whatever it is in life, you just have to keep doing that thing and try and get better every time. For me, the bit that I need to get over is the consistency. Keep doing it. Keep producing it. Even if you think it's shit, it probably is. And you might look back on it, if you continue to do it in 3 or 4 years time, you're like, fucking hell, that was really, really shit. And it is really, really shit. But don't give up just because it's shit now, because if it's shit now and every time you try and do it, you try and add a little bit more, try and get a little bit better at doing it, then over time, that's going to build and build and build until you might, in 2 years time, and I know it's a long process, but in 2 years time, you might be like, fucking hell, I'm so much better than I was. And that's where you need to be aiming, and that's where I'm aiming. So I'm going to keep producing this shit, and if you listen or you watch and you enjoy it, good for you. And if you don't, fucking don't continue watching. And yeah, so I'm just going to keep doing it. If you keep watching it, I'll keep doing it. Even if you don't keep watching it, I'm going to keep doing it, because what else am I going to do? Fucking throw it all away and say to my son, do you know what? Yeah, throw your spellings away. It's hard. Don't do it. No, of course not. Got to keep doing it.